money.
Open to something better? Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE today.
Open enrollment ends December 7th.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Indeed knows it's hard to find qualified candidates when you're hiring.
It's like finding a unicorn.
But when you post your job on Indeed, it's easy to find people with the skills you need.
Nurse practitioner, 4+ years experience, acute care certification.
Indeed has a huge pool of amazing candidates and screener tools that help you find your most qualified applicants.
Whoa, an entire short list of unicorns.
See why more than 3 million companies worldwide use Indeed to hire. Post your job at Indeed.com/hire. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Source.com/score total visits.
NBC News host Megyn Kelly is apologizing for what she said about blackface, and USA Radio Network's Chris Barnes has the details.
Megyn Kelly made the comments in a Tuesday segment of Megyn Kelly Today, and they immediately drew widespread criticism on social media. Here's a portion of them.
What is racist? Because so truly, you do get in trouble if you are a white person who puts on blackface on Halloween, or a black person who puts on whiteface for Halloween. Okay, back when I was a kid, that was okay as long as you were dressing up as like a character.
The network later releasing an email written by Kelly, who says in it that she now realizes, quote, that such behavior is indeed wrong and that she's sorry.
Hurricane Wilma was downgraded to a tropical storm. Now it is continuing to move across Mexico and will head up through Texas and the East Coast, eventually turning into a nor'easter this weekend and bringing rain and possibly even snow to parts of the Northeast. You're listening to USA Radio News.
The following update is for drivers who pay too much for car insurance due to DUIs, DWIs, tickets, or anything else. Our company specializes in low-cost SR22 auto insurance. We know that mistakes happen and offer free quotes for very affordable auto insurance meant specifically for you, the overpaying high-risk driver. The quote is free, and we'll handle the filing so you can start saving money. Call 800-758-0725. 800-758-0725. 800-758-0725.
One of the big issues in the 2018 midterm elections is pre-existing conditions. In pretty much every state, Democrats are running ads that say Republicans voted against covering pre-existing conditions. But is that the real story? I had a chance to chat with Hadley Heath Manning. She's the director of policy for the Independent Women's Forum, and the first question I asked her was if these ads are being truthful.
Well, it's not, and that's one of the biggest misperceptions about the repeal and replace efforts in 2017. You know, the GOP made a lot of efforts to try to include those protections for people with pre-existing conditions, namely the Affordable Care Act, made it impossible for insurance companies to deny coverage or charge higher premiums on the basis of pre-existing conditions. And a lot of those protections were going to remain in the law. So the GOP was actually being pretty soft in terms of their, actual repeal of that portion. And if you look at the polling, 7 in 10 Americans think it's very important to keep those protections. So I think the political pressure is going to remain on the GOP to keep those protections in place. But I hope that the GOP will revisit the issue and really lead on it rather than simply, embracing the framework that the ACA would leave in place. There are better ways to protect people with pre-existing conditions. The number of people with pre-existing conditions that...
Hi, I'm Jeanne Murphy, host of Talented People Radio, produced by Mariah Media. Our show is fun, and we specialize on interviewing some of the most awesome people from around the world. Tune in and watch our live stream on Facebook, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can watch past episodes. Talented People airs every Wednesday from 3 to 4 p.m. Join us for some fun. All right, welcome to Talented People. Hope you're having an awesome day. It's so gorgeous out here in the Northeast in Hunterdon County, New Jersey. This is Talented People. I am Jeanne Murphy. My guest today is Audrey Kerchner, and her company is called INKYMA. INKYMA. It's going to be so much fun. She's a marketing, social media person, so extraordinary. She's got an amazing story to tell. I learned so much with working with her recently. And, I'm in that business of public relations, but we have absolutely no idea most of the time when it comes to what's going on with social media. So real quick update on the weather in the area. Mostly clear with a low about 35 degrees tonight, 35 tonight. Sunny with a high near 52 on Thursday, and then Thursday night partly cloudy with a low around 34. Partly sunny all day with a high of 53 on Friday, and then rain likely, cloudy with a low around 41 on Friday night. Saturday rain continuing with a low around 40 degrees. Chance of showers before noon on Sunday, mostly cloudy with a high near 52, and then a chance of showers again after 2 in the morning. Mostly cloudy with a low of 41 on Sunday night. Monday, chance of showers again, mostly cloudy with a high near 54. So we're going to go to just a couple quick breaks, and then we're going to go through our Talented People conversation with Audrey, and it's going to last for about a half hour straight. So stay with us. Thanks for watching Talented People.
Are you looking to get your message in front of a qualified audience through all the noise out there today? Consider taking an advertisement out on Hunterdon Chamber Radio, WHCR DB, the voice of business. Contact the Chamber today at 908-782-7115 or give us an email at info@hunterdon-chamber.org. You're listening to WHCR DB, HunterdonChamberRadio.com. Brought to you by the Hunterdon County Chamber of Commerce, the voice of business.
Are you struggling to find the right person to stay in that critical role in your company? Trying to attract and retain millennials? Regional Personnel is your staffing solution. Located in Lebanon, New Jersey, Regional Personnel is an ASA-certified, privately held staffing and recruiting firm providing you with everything from temporary to permanent employees. As ASA-certified professionals, we employ the latest tools and techniques to find, screen, and present to you the best talent that fits your needs. The result? Access to top talent in the shortest time with the lowest chance of turnover. We guarantee it. So call Regional today at 908-534-8113 or visit us on the web at regionalpersonnel.com.
This is Tony Clark, paraplanner at Patton Heidi & Associates. Americans believe they should be in charge of their own future, how they will live tomorrow. Since 1894, Ameriprise Financial has worked for their clients' futures, helping millions of Americans retire on their terms, when they want, where they want, doing what they want. Today, Patton Heidi & Associates, a financial advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, Inc., remains true to the vision of always putting clients first. We are ready to help you put a confident retirement more within reach. Put the strength of a leader in retirement planning to work for you through a personal one-to-one relationship. Patton Heidi & Associates will work with you to develop a plan to help you pursue your retirement goals. Call today at 908-713-6600. Office is located at 1318 Route 31 North, Annandale, New Jersey. Investment advisory products and services are made available through Ameriprise Financial Services, Inc., a registered investment advisor, Ameriprise Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA and SIPC.
Action as the next chapter in business success. If your business and organization wants to get engaged, contact the Chamber today at 908-782-7115 or give us an email at info@hunterdon-chamber.org. Advancing Hunterdon, a roadmap for economic growth for the business community of Hunterdon.
I love it. All right. So again, welcome to Talented People. I'm Jeanne Murphy. Good afternoon. This is Wednesday. I can't even believe it. What is it? The 24th already of October. We appreciate you watching in, streaming live on Facebook from the Hunterdon County Chamber of Commerce offices and the Hunterdon Chamber Radio. So my guest again is Audrey Kerchner. She owns a business here in the Hunterdon County area, and I'm going to let her tell us all about it. I had so much fun with her, just so you know. We were doing a golf outing for the Hunterdon Chamber, and we're sitting together for a couple hours on the golf cart, and I learned so much about so much. I'm going to give it over to her because I want you to know, I've got public relations, I'm in real estate, and then here we are talking about marketing and social media, and I was floored. So welcome to the show, Audrey.
Well, thank you. Yeah, that was a fun afternoon for me too, because you and I both know there's a difference between marketing and PR, and some people try to do both, but I stay out of the PR world. It's not my bailiwick. So it was really good to meet someone who is
Pull it closer.
So talented in that area. So we're a marketing agency. We're what's called a full service marketing agency. So we can do logo design, print design, digital design. We do websites, and we do social media marketing and advertising. And that's probably one of the areas I'm most passionate, with my experience and everything, working in pharma marketing for so long. We didn't get to do a whole lot of off the cuff stuff in social media. So it's been a lot more fun getting that part of the business up and running and ramped up. And it's really, it's good for clients. I don't know how else to say it. It's really good for clients to help grow their business.
It's absolutely a necessity. And again, I am in PR and she is in the social media world and the whole world of marketing, which is so funny because it was like if you went like this with our circles, they go right like that and perfect. There wasn't anything at all except what? And then I learned so much. But I mean, honestly, okay. So marketing and advertising and social media are absolutely necessities of all companies now. And some people just don't get it yet.
Well, I think the way I try to talk to people is, about business growth, right? Because I think sometimes they think marketing is just pretty pictures and advertising because they see what the big brands do, which is branding. But marketing is a little different. Marketing is how you tell people about what you do. And then the branding is just getting your imagery out there. And the two of them combined together are what grows the business. And where you put it is what grows the business. It's awareness. It's really... In my mind, it's simple. It's probably not that simple.
It's totally not simple.
But it feels
it's
simple.
Really hard, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's really, really hard. Yeah.
I forget that part, that it's really hard. But it's about awareness. So you could be the best plumber on the planet, but if nobody knows you or nobody knows how to find you, you're never going to get any business. And marketing helps people find you. And the easiest way for people to find you is on the platforms where we spend all of our time. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, depending on what you do, your people are on one of those 4 platforms. And the great thing about it is that when people are on those, even LinkedIn to a certain extent, because it's like passively watching, people are just, they're happier, they're engaged. You get to get sandwiched between pictures of babies and puppies. What's not to love, right?
Yeah.
And so I think people are more open to your messaging on there as well.
So let me hear a little bit about you and where you started, where your services are, where your office is located.
So I am in Flemington Borough.
Okay.
We're a virtual agency. And so what that means is my team's scattered across the United States. So I'm based here, but I can work with anyone. And my team is pretty much everywhere. Everything's video conferencing, videos back and forth. So we actually, instead of emails, we actually send each other videos.
That's so cool.
So it's like on demand. It's like listening to a voicemail. It is. It's actually, and we do screenshots and stuff. But I digress. And then I work with anybody in the United States as well because of that, because I can manage time zones and all that good stuff. My background is in pharmaceutical marketing. I spent 10 years at Schering-Plough.
This is very important, okay? This is really, really cool. All right, go ahead. This is really exciting. This is where talented people come in. Sorry.
I love other people's perspective because I lived through it. I kind of find it boring.
Oh, God, no.
I was there with all the other thousands of Schering-Ploughites.
I was literally on the edge of my seat for about an hour listening. I couldn't get enough information about what you do and what you've done. But go ahead.
So I was there for 10 years working in marketing, internet sites, back when I remember distinctly when they became not so important to, oh my goodness, they're required for FDA compliance and they must be up all the time. And I'm like, when did that happen? But it happened while I was there. And so I got to work on brands going from Claritin to Clarinex, on Nasonex, other things like Dr. Scholl's, Coppertone. So I worked with everybody. And then I worked at an international level too, trying to make sure certain brands, when we sold US-based and overseas, that we had digital continuity, for lack of a better term.
I love it. Digital continuity. Wow. Okay, that's something new. But yeah, it makes total sense. And you have to be able to really kind of have the foresight, the strategy, the understanding. All of the cultures are so different.
Yes.
So go ahead. It's fascinating to me.
Yeah, and it was a balance between that, like trying to figure out, okay, what are we doing in England and Germany, and what are we doing in the U.S., and what can we talk about, what we can't, because the direct-to-consumer laws were different, very, very different, and how you talk to the physicians. There was a lot going on there, So I left there, and then I had the bright idea to go work for an agency, like Madman agency type place.
I do love that show.
I know.
But I could never work there.
Well, I haven't watched it yet just because I'm afraid it's going to bring back like flashbacks.
I completely understand.
I might start crying during episodes like, oh my God, I remember that night.
Yes.
But it was fun. And talk about an education. It was like fire hose. Because then it was taking and working on brands across different companies, so different cultures. So places like, Pharmacia and Pfizer and Sanofi Aventis, working on Lovenox, which some people know about just because celebrities have taken it and that type of thing. Just all different stuffs. And then as part of that, we actually got to work on a really great project that we got. Our team got nominated for a Clio, which is like the Oscars of the advertising awards. We didn't win. We got beat out by psoriasis, but
It's just so funny. You beat out by psoriasis. Because it was a video? Is that what it is? Like a Clio award?
So it's an award for excellence in advertising and marketing.
Wow. That is huge.
Yeah. We came in second. And it was like this virtual expo type of thing where you could go and feel like you're in an expo booth type thing. It was crazy. We green screened the whole thing. It was just at the time. So this is like 8-9 years ago.
Wow.
We were doing serious CGI green screening with people and stuff, and she's touching stuff and it's flying away.
And if you don't know what she's talking about, the green screen is when you have this screen that you can buy. You can get them on.
Right, yeah.
You want to explain what it is?
No, go ahead.
Well, it's like so cool because you could actually put it behind you and then have your videography done as long as you don't wear anything green. And then basically the videography allows the backdrop to be kind of, what do? You put visuals of anything. Like a lot of times I think of it
behind, in front.
Like the stock market. A lot of times when you're watching the news and you see the tickers and everything going on in the back.
Weather people.
The weather people.
They're always standing in
there
front
you
of green
go.
screens. And then they go, yeah, and it's going to be cloudy. And then little clouds come in. So we had her stand, she would walk over here. We'd put a booth in front of her and that kind of stuff. So
that's so creative, though. Yeah, I could just imagine. That was how long ago?
That was like 8 or 9 years ago.
I love what they can do. That's a long time ago for green screen.
I mean, now it's like everybody's like, yeah, green screen.
Yeah.
I was like, we did that 9 years ago.
Yeah. Huge.
So that's just the kind of stuff we were.
It's just very impressive.
We were doing then. I decided to kind of come out. So it's different marketing for companies that have millions of dollars, right? Versus small business owners, 20, 25 employees, people in that range, marketing for them. So what I really wanted to do was be able to be closer to the final results and like talk to my clients, go, yeah, we just picked up this great client. It was wonderful. Like share in the excitement and the celebration. I got to hire another employee because, we've just got so much growth going on. I'm fully booked. I like having those conversations and it's like owner to owner.
Oh, that's great.
So that's why we do what we do. I mean, I love doing marketing and everything, but I love doing it here in this type of space and environment more. So I've been able to take all that big brand thinking and bring it down to where it's affordable to smaller business owners.
It's so critical. And wow, what a wealth of, a wealth of information that you bring. And I mean, honestly, talk about a little bit. You're going to be the morning speaker at the Women's Forum. That's right. Next year coming up in April. It's going to be here before you know it.
I know.
Was it April 9th? Do we know the date?
Yeah, it's in April. It's on my calendar.
Well, long story short, if you're watching this, it doesn't matter. If you look on the Hunterdon Chamber website at any time, you can look up events and make sure you put it on your calendar because she's going to be speaking at least for 45 minutes to an hour, presenting in the morning on social media.
On social media. Haven't honed down the topic because I could probably do a whole entire day on it. It's so massive, but I think where I'm going to try to keep it is at the strategic level because I think what daunts people the most, or what they think is daunting about social media, is putting this stuff in and figuring out how to do it. And actually, it's the content. It's the writing, it's the imagery, and I think they don't go in with a plan or an objective. Like, what is it that you want this post to do? And so it's hard because they're reverse engineering it. They're worrying about the back end fiddly bits, as I like to call them, without figuring out, what is this for? What is it supposed to do? What do I want people? How do I want them to react to it? And when you start there, then writing and creating the images and stuff becomes a little easier. Becomes a lot easier.
It's hard.
Well, for those people that it's hard, that's why I'm here.
That's what you are here for. That's why you're here today, too, because I'm totally intrigued. I was just amazed. Give us a couple examples of the most typical things that when people come to you that they need. Although I know you gave a little bit, like maybe some examples of how you were able to solve something that you like to do with your clients?
So I have one client where he's got a thriving business. It's a cleaning business, and he's very philanthropic, right? He's a millennial. And so we were talking about, he's like, what can I do next year that's different, that helps me stand out? I said, well, why don't we start a giving back campaign? And he's like, I love it. He goes, because everybody else does it. Warby Parker does it with the glasses. You know, the sock guys do it. The mattress people do it. Bombas Socks, that's the sock people that I like that do it. So what we did is we created a giving back program for cleaning services in Hunterdon and Somerset. He's a local guy. And it's called Cleaning for a Cause. And because he's had a personal experience with having cancer, he's offering discount services for cancer patients so that while they're recovering, they can have their homes cleaned. Because his whole thing is that cleaning is not about, you know, status. It's about living in a clean home because it's good for you.
That's amazing.
When I met him, that was his thought process, and I was like, come here, you're my client now.
Yeah.
That I can work with. That's so interesting and refreshing. And so we did video around his whole journey and why this is so important to him. We did a whole web page, and then we did a whole campaign. And then on social media, we took the video and we posted it. Right, I posted it to the page, and it just started going like nutballers organically, like over 1,000 views.
Wow!
Just organically, and then we did an ad for 10-second views, and that went up to like 3,000. Just unheard of type stuff because people were engaged in the content. And it wasn't just the whole flicking by thing. You know, it was 10-second views. So that's the fiddly bit stuff where you can say Facebook, I'm going to pay for this at this level of viewing. And then they start charging you for it. So it doesn't always have to be based off of impressions, but that's another thing. So the campaign is out there.
Love learning.
And now we're starting to add it to the new stuff that we're thinking of now. So on any leave behind pieces, he has Cleaning for a Cause on there so that if someone sees it, they're like, oh, if I know someone, groups can donate. So this whole thing is we created a campaign around this one thing, and then we launched the campaign, right? The project management side of it.
Are you the project manager?
Yes and no. I think of myself as I'm really the strategist, and my team does everything else. Because when I give them dates, they follow them, right? They know that that's part of it. There's no one going to be sitting there going, got to have it in. It's like, you know your dates. We're all responsible adults here. And then the stuff gets done and it gets back. And because then there's writing pieces. It's kind of like an orchestra. The writer has to write, the designer has to design.
That's
it all
cool.
has to come together.
Yeah, but you need the strategist, and you need to have someone who's making sure it's overseen. But just the strategy that's the hard part for so many people.
And I just make sure that everything is on strategy. Like that's my biggest thing. If I tell a client, this is our vision or your vision plan that we've come up with, I don't want them getting something different. They're like, that's not what we talked about. That would be bad, really, really bad. And that's important to me, that it comes out. So that's one example. Another example that I do with high-ticket clients, meaning people, what they're selling, especially services where they're more than $100, is we don't go straight at people on Facebook. You can do that with smaller ticket items, but $100 more, $1,000, you kind of have to get them. They're going to do one of two things. They're either going to buy or they're going to want to think about it. And we like calling that, we're either going to marry me now or you want to date me. So we have processes and strategies in place for those clients where it's like, okay, if you're ready to marry me, yeah, go ahead and buy. But if you want to date, sign up for this. So we try to get people into the email list, which is our dating pool. And we do that in a multi-step process with Facebook ads, as well as then getting them onto the email list. So it kind of starts out with, we start with cold audiences to a blog post, right?
Okay.
And if you like the blog post, right, we put a snippet in there and a link to it. If you click on the link and read it, we know you're interested, right? Because it's content specific to the end game. And then, so then we take those people.
I love it.
And we retarget them and say, hey, we know you like that content. How about we give you this wonderful PDF that's very relevant to the content you're looking for, and you just sign up for our newsletter. Great, because the newsletter is even more content. And the newsletter that pops into the inbox every month is what keeps you top of mind. So when they're ready to go from dating to getting married, they get married to you and not someone else. So that's just one funnel strategy campaign that we do. And again, it's not for everybody. You know, it's for the specific
but I can
client.
imagine what it's, I mean, especially like building a clientele, even like you say, it's long term as far as like getting married versus just something easy, come and go, sign up, you know, do something
Versus
and then be done.
It's like, you know, there are people on Facebook that do the equivalent of, hey, you want to buy this? You want to buy this? You want to buy this? No. Okay, fine. I don't ever want to see you again. Where the person's like, I didn't get a chance to answer, but okay, you're gone.
That is so cool. Well, I know, like, from just watching the news, like, if you go to a news station and all of a sudden you can see that they have got your number, so to speak, anything there is all about what they have already learned that I'm about. Mm-hmm. And so you get all that, which is, I'm fascinated by it. We try to get our people in front, like at the PR side, our people are usually authors. They need to be experts. They get out and they provide some content, and they are also on the TV channel and the news and social media. But when it comes to having those synergistic brands there that are going into your subliminal mind so that they can order or become a married partner of yours forever, that's just such cool stuff. And I love it for the sake of the client that you have. Just being able to talk to someone who says, I want that to happen. I want to do what they're doing. Right. Because it's like, where do I find someone who knows how to do that? She's here.
I'm here.
Audrey Kirchner from INKYMA. INKYMA. I love it. Here's her card. And I want you to know that I love the name of it and everything. Tell us a little bit about the name of the company and how and why and how you named your company that way.
So when you're branding a company, there's a couple different strategies you can use. You can use one where it's a little more on point, right? Marketing or us type of things. Or you can go completely obscure. Person's last name, Pepsi Cola, Nike, those types of things. And you build the brand around the name. Well, there's like marketing or us and every derivative of that out there to mankind. And now, in today's society, business society, you have to get your URL first and be okay with the name. In other words, don't think your name first. Figure out what's available, because there's people that go out and buy names just to buy them, because then they sell them back to you at $1,200 a pop.
Oh, yeah. I believe that someone extremely wealthy, or 18,000 extremely wealthy people must have sat down like in 96 or 8 with a dictionary.
Everything.
And can you imagine that person just because every single word for word is gone. And then go ahead.
But their investment's getting paid back tenfold because they spend
oh my God, I would have done anything to think of that.
Yeah. I know. So you got to think about the URL and first. And so we decided, okay, we're going to find a name that feels and looks good, and then maybe it does some things for us, and make sure that we have the URL. So INKYMA was great. It's actually a name in a book that I read a couple summers ago. Slightly different spelling too. And I would say it just kind of stuck with me. And then the other part of it is the word ink is in there, and we're in the industry of marketing and writing. So I'm like, okay, it's living in the family, and it looks good. It's nice and short.
It is. And it's like a Google. It's just, when I look at it, I won't ever forget it.
It's like a Google.
I might forget how to say it, but I'm not going to forget it.
And that's the magic.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it is magical.
You really stop and think about it. You look at it, you think about it, you look at it again. How many people get that much recognition if it's just their name? There are words that are called sight words, where we actually don't read them anymore because they're so common that when we see them, we just instantly know and go right past them. This isn't a sight word because it's so unfamiliar. And then people want to have a conversation with me about it.
Right.
Look
at that.
All about
right.
my business name.
And that really is kind of how it started, isn't it? If you think about it, when we were sitting on the cart that day, started talking and getting into that, and then all of a sudden, I'm learning all about your expertise and these amazing global brands that you can actually lend that value to your current and future customers.
Yeah, so we're really happy with it. It's a conversation starter. It's doing what we want it to do. It just looks nice wherever we put it. So yeah, we're building a brand around the name, which means absolutely nothing.
It means a lot. I think the look of it is beautiful. It's representative of your skills and talents and what your company does. And that's what you wanted. So it's very cool. Well, tell us more about other special things. Like, obviously you like Facebook. Can you tell us on social media platforms, what do you think are the most valuable ones? And you like boosting, obviously. Tell us about that.
Well, we don't actually boost ourselves. We use the Facebook ad manager.
Okay.
Boosting I think it's good for people that don't do it often or trying to do smaller things. But for the different types of ads that we have to run, we use the Facebook ad manager.
Tell us about it. What is it?
So what it is it's a whole tool that Facebook provides for free, where you can go and create all of your ads and you specify the outcomes you want. So, and that goes back to knowing what you want to do. So if, let's say you want to do videos, you can actually specify an ad that is specifically designed to get more video views. So you pick your criteria of the people you want, geographic location, and interest level, whatever that is, because you can really hone it down. So let's say I want to talk to all plumbers in Hunterdon County, but I want them to watch my video. When I tell Facebook all of those things, it will show it to people that are more prone to watch video first. That way it gets the clicks and everything.
I'm so into this. Go ahead. Let's just see it again. Once again.
Then it'll do it. And then it does the same thing. Like if it's engagement, are you trying to get them to click on a button? There's engagement ads. And then there's ones that are just pure traffic, meaning just show this to as many eyeballs as possible. And people that are going to read it. And Facebook knows. They just know what all these 1.8 billion a month people are doing every day. More likely to click on this, more likely to do that. And then if you want them to buy, there's different types of buy ads where more people, they'll serve it up to people that are more prone to buy on Facebook than maybe someone else. So if you've got Jane and Steve, both fit your criteria, but Jane has bought before, they're going to show it to her first so that she's probably more likely to buy. But then they'll show it to Steve after that, right? Because it's a total... And they do this every day. And then you get to go in and monitor them. And then we test different language against each other. So we'll run the same type of ad, but maybe change the language from one to the other and see which one does better. And then we'll change the image. Maybe a woman in a red shirt does better than a man in a blue shirt. We don't know, for the audience.
I cannot believe it. See, oh my God. I've never heard of this before,
and we haven't even talked about that part of it yet.
I'm like, oh my God. I'm so glad you're here today.
Yeah,
keep going. I'm sure everybody's like, what?
So we do, I know, and everybody's like, oh my God, I have to test.
But you also need to remind everybody, you're Audrey Kirchner, and she is going to be one of the presenters first thing in the morning at the Women's Forum for the Hunterdon County Chamber of Commerce in April of 2019. And she's also going to be co-hosting here at Talented People in the next coming season. And so if you're interested, I just want you to know that you can get in touch with her by just reaching out to the Hunterdon Chamber of Commerce and asking for Audrey. They'll know who she is. Yeah. Or asking for me, Jeanne, and we can put you in touch with Audrey. So, but keep going, because I know I didn't even know that existed. I only heard of boosting, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, I mean, it's good.
You don't even use that.
No, it's funny. I'm doing a training for people that are coming to the Expo, and I had to actually go back and learn how to boost so that I could show them a DIY project to how to get people to your booth.
Oh,
so
my God.
I put together a little presentation that I'm doing for them. It's like how to get people to your booth, and then here's how you boost the post. I'm like, I don't know how to boost a post.
That's so funny. Well, you know what? I love it when people show us what is necessary and what's not necessary. Real quick, I'm going to tell everybody about this, by the way. All right, so the Hunterdon County Chamber of Commerce's 30th Business Expo and Food Showcase is Thursday, November 8th at the Next Level Arena, Case Boulevard, Flemington. Continuous shuttle from JPK School over from 2 to 7. The Food Showcase, which everybody knows, if you've ever been around Hunterdon County for 30 years, their food showcase is incredible, 5 to 7 p.m. Did you want to mention, because you're on the committee for this, right?
Yum.
Yeah.
No, it's so if you're a business owner and you want, and for business to consumer, we've got a couple booths left. We're meeting tomorrow morning. And they're gonna. So I talked them into. I was like, you should come and put a booth behind your booth and let people experience it.
What is it?
It's an escape room. So they lock you in. Well, they can't lock you, right? And then you've got to follow the clues and figure out how to get out, and that's how you win.
Oh my God, how
they're
cool.
so much fun.
Yeah,
They really are.
I heard a little bit about it, I have to admit, but not enough. So, okay, that's cool.
Well,
so
if you come, you can go.
I'm going to be there. I'm on the membership committee, and I'm going to be recruiting new members for the chamber, like I do every week on this radio show, because I love the Hunterdon Chamber. Let's give them a plug real quick, because I know. Tell us about your experience with the Hunterdon Chamber of Commerce.
Oh my gosh, I've been a chamber member on and off for 8 years, but for the last 2 years, I have to say, being a member has been so helpful to my business. Not just finding clients, but making connections. It's how I met you, and I've met other really, really great business owners that I'm friends with, and we all have to stick together.
It's amazing. I think of Ann Thornton.
Yes.
I think of DJ, right? I mean, you think about just Chris Phelan and Michelle Hurley. Chris is the president, and Michelle Hurley works side by side with him as executive director or something. And she's just a straight line person, man. She gets it, right?
Yeah.
They work together with the teams and the committees. And it is true. All they do is put people together.
They do.
All day long. All the time.
Yeah, I mean, you can walk into Chris's office and go, Chris, I want to meet someone from this company, and he'll help you make it happen.
I know.
He will.
It is just amazing.
Yeah, the relationships that I've built through the chamber have helped my business so much.
I agree. I was about the same year too, about 8 years ago. And I tell everybody all the time, I'm like, I just can't imagine being a business in the area in any size, shape, or form.
Right.
Without having someone here at least once a month, because it's like an invaluable asset.
Yeah, but you have to get involved.
You do.
A lot of people will join and be like, okay, where are the clients? No, you got to get in here, get to know us, get to know Chris, get to know Michelle, go to the meetings, participate, and help out. And then all of a sudden the magic happens.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad we have this whole thing. I'm just so happy about this. We were actually volunteering for the golf outing. That's how we happened at Herring Glen.
That's right. It was
Herring Glen, a member, hosts a golf outing. All this new business comes to the golf outing because they've not been on location, which P.S. the place is awesome. Yeah. They did a trivia night. I went back a couple nights after that. It was fun. And then they have an amazing public golf course and a restaurant in Ringo's open to the public.
It's beautiful.
And it's delicious.
Oh, we had some good food that day, didn't we? Oh my gosh.
And that's part of hanging out with the chamber people. It's like a party every day. My favorite thing to do, other than go on a break and laugh about how much fun we're having off the air here on Talented People for 1 second and being back with you guys, of course, my favorite people in the world, watching Talented People on Chamber. We'll be right back. Thank you again for watching. And
you're listening to WHCR DB, HunterdonChamberRadio.com. Brought to you by the Hunterdon County Chamber of Commerce, the voice of business.
Hey, Pat, did you know between the two of us, we know how to screw in a light bulb?
Come on, Steve. We can do better than that. Well, at least I can. Tell you what, you sit there and look pretty, and I'll fix it.
Listen to you, big guy. Better yet, let's get everyone to listen to Home Sweet Home with me, Steve Bailey, inspector with Brass Tack Home Inspections.
And I'm Pat Gregory, handyman extraordinaire with Taskman Home Improvements, every Friday at 11 a.m. Or you can go to our archives and get access to over 50 podcasts. We cover the basement to the attic and everything in between.
You can even call us at 908-237-0410 during our radio program about our home improvement projects. Remember, Home Sweet Home, every Friday at 11 on Hunterdon Chamber Radio.
From the basement to the attic, When it matters most, our award-winning team of emergency physicians and nurses provides sophisticated care 24 hours a day. Superior emergency care at a moment's notice. Hunterdon Healthcare, your full circle of care. When it matters most, our award-winning team of emergency physicians and nurses provides sophisticated care 24 hours a day. Superior emergency care at a moment's notice. Hunterdon Healthcare, your full circle of care.
Advancing Hunterdon is an ever-sharp focus on the growth and prosperity of Hunterdon County's businesses. Advancing Hunterdon engages businesses within and throughout the county that are responsive to a call to action as the next chapter in business success. If your business and organization wants to get engaged, contact the Chamber today at 908-782-7115 or give us an email at info@hunterdon-chamber.com. hunterdon-chamber.org. Advancing Hunterdon, a roadmap for economic growth for the business community of Hunterdon.
Okay, we're back here at Talented People. Thank you again for watching us stream live on Facebook, and then perhaps when we share on YouTube and everything else, we do appreciate it. I'm Jeanne Murphy, and my guest is Audrey Kerchner, and we are having a really great time because she is an expert in marketing. And I'm not talking about what you hear, marketing maven, social media person. I'm talking about, I was sitting with her and I have learned things, and I've been in business for 10 years, by the way, at Mariah Media JMPR as of the 21st of October, which was just 3 days ago.
Yay, congratulations.
Thank you. And I've never heard of anything that she was talking about, literally. And that's because PR and marketing and social media strategies all are connected. They're related, but I never have ever done anything or heard of anything she was doing. So if you were engaged today by listening into what we were talking about, which we still have about 8 minutes left, I want you to know that Audrey is available to speak to you or your group. And so let's hear from her on what your speaking category venues are.
So right now, just because of having conversations with you and other clients and that type of thing, I'm doing a lot of speaking about social media and why it's important for your business. So not, just posting for yourself as a person, but using social media as a way to get leads, grow awareness, and help people find you. And so a lot, even with my clients, we do a lot of education. We educate their clients, and I like to educate my clients. I like people to be informed consumers. And so that's why I like going out and speaking, because after I have a session, people are like you, I didn't know that, or I didn't know there's someone around here that could do that, or that we can do that as small businesses. Of course you can. So I'm even okay if I give them, the keys to the kingdom and they go and do it themselves, because maybe they need to bootstrap a little bit before they can afford to hire someone like me. Mm-hmm. As long as they get across the finish line, that's all I care about. So I feel very passionate about speaking to groups. That's what I did last week. Is I went to a Rotary breakfast event for a client. He said, hey, come speak to these business owners about, just like what you're saying, we've learned so much from you, now come help them. And so I did, and it was wonderful. It was a really, really good event. Well, were you at the metrics thing that Rosanna de Torres, the attorney here in Flemington, put on for the chamber about 6 months ago? The only reason I bring it up is because I did, but I wish I did. Yeah, you would have wished you did too. But the thing that I can tell you is that when I this, as old as the term aha moment, I will say, and I know Ann Thornton is always a fan of watching the show. Love you, Ann. Love your MSI Plumbing and Remodeling. Woo! She was the same as me with her. The reason I bring it up is because Roseanne was talking as an attorney. She represents a lot of women going through divorces. And she was talking about the power of social media and how long it took her to realize that when she just hired a professional firm to actually do some testing like you're talking about, she found out that more traffic was coming to her through social media and through the internet by, instead of saying women, divorce, blah, blah, to women who were searching custody of my children. Her entire marketing and strategy changed over learning that by having a professional come in and bring outside the box. And then she learned where to demographically open another one of her offices, and everything over the fact that you could this raise at your fingertips. Yeah. She wasn't sharing like you were sharing because she doesn't do what you're doing. She was telling the story of how much it impacted her business by making a decision to do something proactive with a specialist. And I'm only saying that's why, you're here today. I'm so excited about it. And that when you say, like, you like to speak, you like to share like you are today. Yeah. Just what you said about not boosting versus using, what was it called? The admin? The ads manager. The Facebook ads manager.
I'm going to go back home and figure that out tonight, because it's fairly cool. But then just because you're willing, because I'm like you, we give out to the universe. We have nothing to hold back. Yeah. If it's the same way with our PR, right? Or with anything, including real estate. I'm a Weichert real estate agent. Thanks. It's fun. I'm my own client now with my PR company. That's what I'm saying. One of my clients, and I'm one of my clients. But anyway, we give it out because when you give something away, it comes back 1,000-fold.
I agree. I agree. And it's not like I'm the only one on this planet that can do this. I mean, I've learned from others. I I spend a lot of money every year on education, just keeping up with all of this.
You can tell.
Because it's changing at a rapid rate, and I'm very interested in it, and I want to make sure I'm doing it right for everybody else. And my team runs all my social media too.
Well, you must learn a lot from them because you're able to delegate it out to them, and then they come back, and I'm sure that they bring you back all kinds of new, young, old, outside input, because that's one of the most things.
And they're from different parts of the country, so the perspective, the vernacular is a little different. So sometimes I look at stuff and I go, I wouldn't have said that, but I like that. Let's see if the client likes it. And I throw it out there and they're like, this is awesome. I'm like,
yeah, but one thing I will say about you is that your expertise, the enormous amount of information that you don't even realize that you were saying that day, and then since then, okay, because that was like 2 weeks ago, but we've been talking since, and it just keeps going deeper and deeper and deeper into that marketing and strategy place that everybody needs someplace to start, but that is the most important place.
It is.
If you can get the fulfillment, you can get once you get the leader of the client's team with you, and they can convey what the message is. And if they don't even have the message, create the message.
Right.
And then be able to build it. And what about, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you feel social media is as 1 being the least, 10 being the best, as a company's asset?
I would say 10 or even higher if we could go higher. Just because of the fact that that's where everybody is right now. It's amazing. Almost everybody's on there, depending on who your demographic is. So if your demographics that are people that are, phobic of computers, then maybe not. But we can do a print campaign. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, you do have full service, right? Yeah. But
when you were like, okay, so as far as speaking goes, how is the best way for someone to get in touch with you?
They could just go to my website, fill out the contact form, and then we talk over the phone and figure out if it's a good fit. One of the things that I do, like you said, there's all this stuff in here, and I really make a conscious effort to bring it up to the level of the audience so that I don't overwhelm people. I'm not trying to show people how brilliant I am. I'm trying to communicate so that they can get something out of it and do something with the information that they could do on their own if necessary, or at least think about their strategy better. Right? If they walk away,
I have to agree with you. I'm going to say I agree with you on to the level. First of all, what I think you're trying to say is that when you do have a customer prospective client come to you, you kind of baby step it out for them. You kind of listen to the landscape of what they currently have. Oh, yeah. You're thinking, oh my God, you know what it could be, but to not overwhelm, you just kind of explain and then let them grow into those things, because it does take time.
It does, and it's baby steps.
Yeah.
We're starting a relationship and we're walking a path together. And I'm not going to shoot you down that path with a fire hose.
Yeah.
We're going to walk hand in hand.
I can't believe it. All right. So then, okay, so there's all kinds of different groups out there. If you're thinking about what kind of community you belong in, okay, there are Rotaries. There's all kinds of business networking groups. There's all kinds of small women meetup groups. There's all kinds of groups. So if you're out there and you know that social media applies to everyone and every business, doesn't matter. You may not even have a business. Maybe you just want to realize how to get your future business or some type of better idea of where, one of your colleagues' businesses could go to find someone who's actually the expert. That's what and why Audrey's here today, because it's just true. I mean, I think it's difficult to find someone. There are a lot of social media companies.
There are.
I've had numbers of them over on the shows over the years, but I've never talked to one that had anywhere near your expertise. I don't mean to diss on the people before, but I'll be honest with you. It was mostly about just how to add a friend, share the basic. It wasn't like a company marketing strategy.
Right.
I'll go back to that with all the support. So you have 2 minutes left. What else would you like to speak about?
So the other thing you had mentioned, you talked about Rotary and other things, trade shows. They're always looking for people to come and speak, and then associations. So like if you have the Builders Association or the Architect Association, or even with the real estate agent.
I got this. This is actually something that I do in the PR company. I can actually introduce you to a bunch of different venues. See, the chamber just keeps giving and giving and giving. We never even thought about that.
No. I mean, I can even get certified for CEUs in certain areas if necessary.
We've got that too. I don't know. Mercer
a lot
Institute.
of industries have the equivalent of a CEU. You have to go having continuing education, and part of it is growing your business. So, I can help people get credits and all that good stuff too.
Okay, so we have a lot to do, and so do you. If you don't mind, keep watching Talented People. Thanks. Look for Audrey to co-host the show in the future. Thank you for watching. Last words?
Last words? Just keep growing. Don't stop.
Keep growing.
Yeah.
I love it. Don't stop. I agree completely. All right. So this is Jeanne Murphy. Again, if you'd like to have Audrey come and speak to your group on social media, marketing strategy, size of company, irrelevant, because she's got it, just get in touch with us. But have a great weekend. I think that I heard that there's snow. Even though that weather forecast didn't say it, everybody's telling me that we're going to get snow this weekend. Did you hear that?
I did not, but okay. I got my boots out. I'm ready.
Well, one quick joke before we go. When my husband and I met, all right, I'm watching TV with him. This is back in the VCR days, VHS. We were watching a show. And I swear to God, I didn't know that it was VHS. So all of a sudden on the commercial, there was like a weather report. It was snowing and it was summer. And I literally thought it was snowing, and then I didn't realize it was a movie. So I know with the digital years, this video will be playing after we die by far.
That's right.
And basically, it won't be snowing on that weekend, perhaps. Anyway, 3:57 again. Thanks for watching, and have a great weekend.
Bye.
Or week, I guess. It's only Wednesday.
You're listening to WHCR-DB, HunterdonChamberRadio.com. Brought to you by the Hunterdon County Chamber of Commerce, the voice of business.
One of the biggest decisions in your lifetime is buying or selling a house. Choosing a realtor with strong client communication, technology, and marketing skills will dramatically improve your chance of success. That's why Hunterdon and Somerset's residents rely on Joe Peters. Joe believes his